I think I'm back. Uh-oh, my sound. Okay, I think I'm back. Please, apologies. This is Nigeria Network. This is what they have done to me in the last few weeks. I've had to go through a very serious. You need to understand, something funny happened. I went to get an internet modem from one of the top internet service provider in Abuja, and I was asking, please tell me what is the speed of this thing I'm about to buy. And the person said, give or take to be between 6 Mbps and 20 Mbps. I said, what did you say? I said, oh my God, do you know what the speed of the internet in my house is? I use 500 Mbps. So from 500 to 6, the maximum I can enjoy in Nigeria is 20. I said, God will have mercy on me. But we'll find a way to do this and it will not affect. Thank you very much. All right, I have a very interesting topic to discuss on, which is cross border wealth leveraging platforms. Cross border wealth leveraging platform. I want this class to go in a very different fashion and just permit me to go as the Spirit would lead me. I just wanted to make sure that even if it's for one person whose current situation I am sent to address, to that person, I believe it is worth it. So please help me pay small attention to the things I'm going to be saying. And please indulge me, I do not have a slide, neither do I have a note. So I'm going to speak from my heart and from my spirit completely. Just before I was brought on, I remember a story, and I will quickly tell that story to make a point for a lot of people who, even though they are working hard, even though they have desires and the things that they want to do, they find it difficult to assess some level of success in business, in their career, and they have come up with different excuses. But the summary of their excuses is that maybe this type of money is not meant for people like us. I don't know if there's anybody who have ever thought like that right here who's listening to me. You probably have heard other people say, oh, we started XYZ and we are at ABC right now. And they are doing pretty fine. They're doing very well. And you also, you've made attempt at different things. Unfortunately, the result you are getting, the feedback you're getting, it's not commensurate with your own input, with the type of desires you have and what you're trying to do. So I would like to address that by telling you this short story, and this is going to help me lay the foundation for whatever strategy I'm going to share, whatever it is that I'm going to be able to teach in this little time that we have together. So the story is one of those fictitious stories that I heard some years ago about a parent who had two boys, twins, same day, look alike, everything was similar. Now, these two boys, they gave them, for the sake of this story, let's give them Peter and Paul. So one was Peter, the other one was Paul. I don't know which one would be the good guy and the bad guy. We'll get into that. So, as their custom is in their village, every time their children are up to a certain age, I think about 10, they take them to the native priests, who is the representative of the god, to find out what the future of the boys would be. They do this for every male child in that particular village. So they took as customs when Peter and Paul were 10, they took them to the priest. And as the way the priest organizes it, each child will come in separately. They will do some ritual, and then the priest will get a revelation about that particular boy, then tell the boy everything, and then the boy will go out. So this time around, they are twin, but they had to go in one after the other. So the first one went in. Let's call him Peter. So Peter went in, and the man saw amazing things about Peter's future. So he told Peter how Peter was going to be so wealthy, so famous, so great, and he was going to be the king eventually of their village. And Peter was so excited. He came out and he couldn't wait to tell his parents, this is what my future is going to be like. This is what my life is going to turn out to be. And of course, Paul I haven't heard Peter say, I look like him. We wear the same thing. I have similar, everything similar with him. If his future is going to be great, like they just said, mine definitely will be great. But just to fulfill all righteousness, let me also go in to the priest and hear my own. Maybe mine would even be bigger. I don't know how many people here have compared people you went to school together, people you grew up from the same neighborhood, people you started a similar business, people you're trying to do similar things together. I mean, I've had people who were roommates, people who accommodated me at some point in my life, who wonder how I'm able to do the things I am doing versus their own attempts at life and the result that they have gotten so far. So this guy went in, which was poor, and unfortunately, the man told him, you will not amount to anything good. No matter what you do, you always serve your mates. I'm not quite won't take me. I mean, like, why you are cursing me, sir? He said, that is what the God has revealed about you. So, of course, dejected and sad, the boy came out and told it to his parent. Everybody went home sad that day. And then, of course, their life continued. And just as the man predicted, everything for Peter, the first one that went in, he was just having everything easy. All right. But Paul, on the other hand, began to struggle. Things were bad for Paul, but things were great for Peter, just like they predicted. So one day, Paul said to himself, there is nothing for me here. Everything I try to do here, nothing is working for me. Let me move, all right, from where I am and go to a better place. A place they don't know me, a place nobody would, attach any form of stigma to me and all that. So he told his parents, he was an adult at this time, and then he decided to leave. The other guy, who was Peter, everything was going well for him. He wasn't taking life seriously because he was having things easy. So he eventually became the king, and everything that was said about him came to pass. Our Paul left the village, and we did not hear about him anymore. Several years later, there was a famine in the land. There was no food, and it lingered for so long. It was so bad that people started to kill each other for food. And then, before the whole village killed themselves, one of the elders spoke to the king that he would suggest that they all migrate, maybe to a distant land. Perhaps they will be saved. After a lot of debate, they agreed, and the entire village decided to migrate. So they migrated and went up north, and eventually they stumbled into a farm that has a lot of fruits. And then they started to eat. They got arrested and taken to the village of the owner of the farm. And they were about to kill them when the king of that land came up and said, hold on. And he asked the leader of the village to explain themselves. What happened? Why did you go to my farm and start stealing my things? And he explained, oh, there was famine in our land. Da, 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 I'm the king. Da, 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 da. And it was like, Peter? So the guy looked up, said, Paul, what had happened? Paul left the village, went into farming, started to work extra hard, and eventually was able to build a community for himself. Other people who couldn't have food in their villages came to him, they made him their king, and then life was good for him. Eventually, the one who was predicted to be a king had to pledge his allegiance to the one who was predicted not to be a king. Please realize this. The first one had been a king for several years. That's Peter. Paul only became a king to Peter and his people after the day they caught them trying to steal things from the farm. So, what is the lesson from this story? Our life's journey is very similar to this. Many times when we try things out and it doesn't work easily for us, Africans are very quick to attach spiritual attacks, foundational stuff, what do you call these things? Generational curses, village people, so many of these semantics or names as the reason for our retrogressive advancements. What a paradox. All right. So you are moving, but you're getting worse every year. You are trying your best, but what you are pulling is not in commensurate level with your level of work input. So I came to tell you that if you have a blood axe to cut a tree, you will spend more time sharpening the axe and you apply more pressure in being able to get it done. Lesson number two, there is no such thing as being destined to fail. Let me repeat that. There is no such thing as being destined to fail. You only give up too easily, or you are focused on the wrong things. You only give up too easily, or you're focused on the wrong things. I came from a family that poverty was our bedmate, was our roommates. It was very, I mean, some of you had kitchen growing up. We do not have kitchen. It was that bad. All right. Some of you have stove and which other one they use, cookers and stuff. I only see those things on TV from our neighbor's house because we don't even have TV in our house. We cook with firewood in a city. Oh, I didn't grow up in a village. Firewood in a city. Then we use charcoal. Then we use sawdust. That was the type of family that I woke up to. And we go to church a lot. And most of the pastors that come to our church will always give prayer points like, all the enemies from my father's house that is making me poor. So as a child, I grew up believing that the reason we don't have enough, the reason we don't have the type of life my mates have, all right, is because some people are doing us from our village. They told us not to go. That's why I don't know my village till tomorrow. It's all wants to go to our village because they'll touch your head and then they take your glory. Some of you that have told you things like this. Why am I attacking this? No matter the strategies we teach, some of you have picked up this mindset that you just can't succeed because some people are doing you. Some of you also believe because you committed a sin, God is angry with you, that's blocked heaven over you, then you cannot succeed in business anymore. All of these things are lies. From this story I just told you, if you apply it to your life, you understand you can be anything you want to be. It might take you longer time. So I'll close on this by saying this word I heard from a musical lyrics some years ago. I think it's from Sashino Peters. He said, "Ayé ò lè pa kádàrá dà, wọ́n kàn lè fọwọ́ aago sẹ́yìn ni." Let me interpret that for you quickly. I said, the word, when we say the word, it means like evil powers cannot change your destiny. Coach Mosi, Google Translate. They can't change your destiny, they can only slow you down. All right. There's a difference between being slowed and being stopped. All right. As long as you breathe, you cannot be stopped. As long as you breathe, you cannot be stopped. I hope what I just did in the last 10 minutes or so has blessed or helped somebody. So this is a foundation. This is not part of my class, but I just felt it's very heavy in my heart to share this. And I believe that somebody has picked something from it. So stop blaming others for your lack of responsibility. Take responsibility on that goal. You don't have a business if you can't work 5 hours a day on your business. Let me repeat that, and I want you to sink that in. You have no right to complain that your business is not growing or you're not doing well with your idea if you are not working at least 5 hours a day on that idea or on that business. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. All right. So, enough of blaming other people. Let's blame you first. All right. I believe some people have businesses here. I believe some people have ideas here. I believe some people don't even have any yet, but they also want to make money. All right. They want to build wealth. So, either of the category you fall into, there is a need for investment for you to be able to build whatever it is you want to build. And that investment includes number one, I found this out very, very recently. Well, I've always known it, but I mean, it became really clear to me very recently that the secret to business growth is hidden in that word called research. They call it R&D in some place, research and development. The secret to business growth, please write it down. The secret to business growth is hidden in R&D. Is hidden in R&D. That is why Coca-Cola 2 years ago spent 29 billion US dollars in R&D. Apple spent about 21 billion in R&D. Other organizations that you know, you love, and we like to use them as yardstick, they all invest billions of dollars in R&D. But an African business is planning their 20-year income goal is 10% of what the company you want to compete with is spending on R&D. Let's take it home. An average bank in Nigeria have at least 16 sets of consultants who they pay millions and tens of millions to per annum to give them research and development, insights, information to allow them collect more money from you. You may not have that much money now, but let it be part of your culture that whatever you make, whatever you have, even your time right now must be invested in research. Does anybody have a business here? If you have a business, please type business. The good question for you is how much do you really know about your business? Let me rephrase that question. In the next 5 years, what are the top 10 things that are expected to happen in this your business? Do you even know it? Do you have idea about them? All right. So don't just have businesses and say, we are doing something. Oh, we are doing something, and all of that. Think global. All right. So let's use this phrase that I am made for the global stage. I want you to say it after me. I am made for the global stage. I am made for the global stage. So if you are made for the global stage, you must follow best practices and innovate. And the things that help businesses that are global, you have to research them and they have to be what you would do in your own business and being able to grow. All right? So it's very, very important. So, because of my time, let me go right into the topic. I've laid all these foundations, all right? I just wanted to go the way my spirit was leading me to just talk about this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining and being here. All right, so the topic is cross-border wealth, all right, leveraging platforms, okay? So I'm going to try my best to do justice to that in a short while, but my teaching is going to be more of storytelling. So please permit me so that you would understand a lot better, all right, the things that I'm going to be sharing. So, all right, I am made for the global stage. I like that. That's where we belong. That is where we belong. In what year was this? 2018. I built a business that was around training and financial market. And within 6 months, we had presence in 14 countries. We had customers across 14 countries. We had ambassadors across 14 countries. We had business registrations in about 4 or 5 of them, I think, at the time. And after we did all of that expansion, we also grew revenue within 2 months. I think it was less than 2 months actually, to over $2.5 million. With just we had this product that has three different components in it with that particular product, and it was really a beautiful deal. I never knew that you could actually do business in other countries that fast. Now, I want you to keep that, what I just said, in one hand. On the second hand, Whatever business you are doing right now in any part of the world you are living at, there is a high likelihood that there are more people in another country who are willing to pay top dollar for your products and services. Can I repeat that? There is a high likelihood that there are people in other countries who are willing and able to pay top dollar for your products and services. But most times you have a phenomenal product, an amazing service. Now I'm trying to talk to people who probably have a business already. I'll still talk to those of you who don't have one. So don't worry, it's all inclusive. What you have done so far is to focus on the local market that you probably can have easy access to. And this local market, just the word, the prophet is not honorable or is not honored amongst his own people. You are not given the type of honor that your, I mean, when I say you, I'm talking about your product, it's not given the type of honor that you believe it deserves, because people you're trying to serve are the wrong market for your kind of product. All right. They are the right market for another kind of product. Please get this very right, very clear. When someone says they are not interested in buying what I'm selling, all right. Um, I just remember I'm supposed to lay a foundation before talking about this, but please forgive my assumption that you are all business people. Is it okay to forgive that assumption? So I just assumed that you're all business people. But there was a foundation I could have laid for people who are necessarily not business people. But you are learning, yes? If you are learning, give me 111. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'll probably still go back to that foundation. Yeah, let me just write it so that I don't forget it. It's very important for people who are not in business yet, but they want to make money. All right. So now, the people who said no to your product or service will say yes to another product or service. All right. So it means they are not entirely a non buyer. It's just that your product is not the one that they are ready to exchange their dollar for at that point. So you need to understand that your business is not bad. It is the customers you're trying to sell to that is currently bad for your product and service. So if you understand this, the wise thing to do is to now go into research who then are the perfect customer for my product or service. All right, who then are the perfect customers for my product and service? You have to find these people. But I found an answer for you. The best answer is your best type of customers are not in your country. Your best type of customers are not in your country. There are things that I will use 1 hour, 2 hours to try to convince a Nigerian to buy from me, and I will drop the price. They will debate back and forth. I will do follow up before they eventually pay. And guess what? When they are paying, they will bring installment plan. And I've carried the same thing. Before I finish talking for 5 minutes, an Oyibo has dropped 10 times what the Nigerian used 2 weeks to argue price with me. Do you get it? So it's just crazy. I've done physical events. Let me just give you this example. I've done physical events in Nigeria. We try to sell, do stuff and all that. I carried the same thing to an African country. There were 1,000 people plus in that hall, just a little, maybe one or so in that hall. And I made my offer. Shola, you will not believe. Right there, over 600 people donated their dollar for the product. I will sweat to get 100 Nigerians to donate their dollar, or okay, they don't even spend dollar in Nigeria, their naira in Nigeria in such an event. Because they will start to think scam, think all kinds of things. I said, I did not understand. So there is this grace that accompany a business that is offshore, and you need to exploit. You need to exploit. So Remember, I told you you are a global citizen, you are made for the global market. So, any solution you are creating, you just have to find a global appeal to it because some of your solutions are so localized. All right. You have to find a global appeal to it. All right. Somebody said, does this depend on the type of business? In a way, maybe, but generically, no. Because most of the product or service or solutions you are selling, the same human being in Nigeria will be the same human being in Ghana or Kenya who would be willing to buy those similar products. All right. So it depends now on how local the product could be. All right. But the problem with Africans versus Americans is the Americans taught their children to create things for the global market. We build for people in Agege alone. We are targeting Agege people coming to buy from you alone. Even when you run hard, some of you just send ads to Lagos, Lagos, Lagos. Lagosians are tired of seeing ads. That's for all of you digital entrepreneurs who are selling things online. All of you are bombarding Lagosians with ads, buy my course, buy my trainings, and all of that. Those trainings that you are trying to sell to Nigeria, carry it to Zambia, and you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked how your life will change in thousands of dollars. You'll be shocked. Now, some people have tried to beat the US market. US also is not, don't take that word, the word is not saturated actually. Um, but it's a market that has a high competition level, right? Especially those of you who are trying to teach all this business online stuff and what have you. It's the competition is huge, but of course there's still huge opportunities there. But instead of doing that, there are other parts of the world that are not well served in this type of businesses or this type of solutions or product or service. You can be the one to take it there. I just released a book. One of them is not here. And I decided to write that book in both French and English at the same time. Now we're doing French audiobook, French ebook, French printed book, and then we're doing the English version of everything as well. Why? Because I figured the francophone market is not as well served as the anglophone in some of these teachings. Most of the trainers and thought leaders you know are English speaking bulldozers. Very few of them can speak French or Spanish or even Swahili. Now I'm trying to work around Swahili as well to get some of this my knowledge translated into that market. And ladies and gentlemen, if my tiny one book, all people pay is $100 for a book, and I'm able to sell 1 million copy, you know what that means? $100 million. All right. So the idea is what you create and you are selling, you have a better market if you try to sell outside of your country of residence. Just think about it. Just think about it. It's so, so huge. Now, everything I'm saying to you, I'm saying it because that is what I'm doing for my business. I live in Dubai. We started our business and platform in Nigeria. And then, of course, I moved out of Nigeria for some funny, interesting reasons. Um, Let me not get into that. And from where I stay in Dubai, I'm able to do business in different countries in the UK, just name it, almost everywhere. All right. Thanks to my coach herself, I am able to register a business in the US, which I'm going to get into and talk about as well. I'm able to register a business in the US. I have two bank accounts now, and we're doing pretty fine with it and moving thousands of dollars on a daily basis easily without wahala. All because we're able to leverage the existing systems that allow us to reach out to other people. Now, let me just break this. This is my strategy that I teach people. It's very easy. Get a platform that can collect money globally, then serve the underserved markets across the globe. Get a platform that can collect money globally for you. Stripe is a great example. Then locate. Remember, I said the lifeblood there is research and development. Oh. Aha, that's where I'm going. I can't do the research for you. I spend a lot in research. I personally invest minimum of 5 hours, minimum 5 hours every day all right, studying about different things that I do today. So I always give that 5 hour mark. If you admire my result, be ready to watch YouTube video, to search Google, go through webinars and trainings, read books and all of that. 5 hours every day. Then if you are able to do that, then you can now say you envy my results. All right. So but always look for the investment, the process that people followed to get the type of result that they got. All right. So this is very important. You need to understand the process and the part of um okay, so the movement of the people behind me. Okay, so you need to understand the process that people go through to create the type of success that they have before you start to admire the things that they are doing. All right, so this is very important. So let me go quickly to the foundation that I wanted to lay before I get in here. Now, is there anyone right here who doesn't currently have a business? You currently don't have a business. Just give me a signify, do something. Anyone? All right, fantastic. You don't currently have a business. All right. Is there anyone here who have a business and your business is already doing over $1 million? I want you to type dollar. If your business is doing above $1 million already, $1 million and above, type. All right. Shala, I'm going to teach two things that I charge a lot of money for. I'm going to drop the soul for you guys right now and then we close. Can you give me like 30 minutes of your time to do this? Do I have the permission? Because I don't even know when I'm supposed to stop this class. Please don't follow me. I teach for 5 hours. Oh. Hey, I just thought teaching. Eh, so, timekeeper. Olajumoke. Huh? Do I still have up to 30 minutes? Okay, so let me be looking at my calculate 30 minutes. Let me be looking at once I do 25, just do something that will just let me know. You can do if you hand like this. Okay. Okay. I want to teach this formula for, um, I think it goes for both ways. People who do not have a business yet, and people who already have a business, something that they are running. All right. There is this formula that is the foundation of wealth creation. I call it the wealth equation, and I've taught this a lot of times to people in my community, but it evolves in my head almost on a daily basis. It is called the TTPW model. Unfortunately, my iPad is not here. I would have loved to do screenwriting. TTPW model. TTPW. You get it? So T stands for something. The second T stands for something. The P stands for something, and then the W stands for something. So what do they stand for? The W means wealth. All right, to build and grow wealth, you will need another component called profit. You cannot build wealth through salary. You can be rich through salary, but you cannot build wealth through salary. The other name for wealth is called leverage. Another name for wealth is called goodwill. Wealth is not bank balance. Please let's get that right. Wealth is not cars and houses. Bank balance, houses are some things that could happen because you are wealthy. You are not wealthy because of them. They are very different things. Please let's get that correctly so that you don't start judging yourself as not doing well because you don't have billions in your bank account. By God's grace, I'm a multi-billionaire, but I do not have billions in any of my bank accounts. I don't. The last time I probably saw billion in accounts is probably 4, 5 years ago. Like, how many figures in a billion? Maybe 9 figures, yeah? I've not seen it since then. All right. So, and I don't think myself less of anything. By God's grace, anything I want, I'm able to raise the money to do it. So, I'm very contented. I'm happy that I'm able to live the type of life I want to live. So, wealth is not built around the material things. Material things are acquired with wealth. Material things don't make us wealthy. Why? Because they can be taken away. So, wealth is leverage. Wealth is not what you do with consistent work. Wealth is what you work to build, and then it becomes like an AI that start learning and doing things by itself on its own. All right, so let's understand that. So the fastest way to build wealth is through profits. Please write that down. The fastest way to build wealth is through profits. And the only way rather, to have profits is through transactions. I hope you are following my model small, small. All right. The only way to get profit is through action. And the only way to get transaction is through traffic. So wealth, which is the ultimate goal, all right, I've defined wealth for you is like leverage. It's just ability to be able to get whatever it is you want, and then you're good. So that's W, wealth. Next to it is P, profit. Next to it is transaction as the first T. The second T is traffic. So the foundation is traffic, traffic to transaction, from transaction to profit, and then with profit, wealth is built. So here is the deal. More traffic equals more transaction. More transaction equals more profit. And only a large volume of profits can build wealth for you. So there's a coefficient of automation in all this equation that makes traffic generation an automated system, transaction an automated system, profits or profit nearing an automated system, and then your wealth can grow while you sleep. The name of this entire equation is still called the leverage system, because you want to not do everything by yourself. You want to work with existing platforms that has made most of these things easy for you to be able to build. So for those of you who do not have a business yet, you need to have a product that people can buy so you can make profits. You need a product that people can buy so you make profits. I usually use bottled water, and since I have one here, let me just use as an example. This will be clear. I'm sure all of you know this brand. Sorry, they didn't pay Smart Steward for adverts. Maybe we'll go and sue them to pay you for adverts. All right, this product is simple. We all need water. We like water. Bottled water, this one is even cold. I like it. It's great. So I want to be a merchant selling this bottled water. I didn't make it, so I go to buy it from the shop or anywhere. And I bought this for only $1. All right. So I decided to sell this to, let me say, Jumoke. Hi, Jumoke, nice one. Do you want water? Buy water. This is the water of life. I do marketing and everything. And eventually, Jumoke said, how much? And I said, oh, this water, oh, you just have to get it, get it, get it, get it. How much? Okay, so this is $1.50. So Jumoke paid me $1.50. I've sold the water. Have I made profit? Give me an answer. Have I made profit? The process of her paying me and collecting the water is called transaction. All right. I bought it for $1, and then I've given to her at $1.50. So 50 cents is the difference, which is the margin, and that becomes what you call profits. All right, some people are going into advanced level. Don't go advanced. This is basic business. Business 101. I bought this water for $1. I gave it to somebody. They gave me $1.50. I have made 50 cents profits. All right, beautiful. Question number 2: am I wealthy now that I've made 50 cents? Have I built wealth? Okay, I am here to build wealth. But, ladies and gentlemen, this same process of buying the water, selling it at a higher price, making a bit of profit, if I can go again and buy the water again, sell it to another Jumoke at 50 cent profit, go and buy again, and I could repeat this 1,000 times in one day, how much money would I have made? Who's good at maths here? 50 cents margin at 1,000 transactions in a day. I would have made $500. Thank you, Nena. Thank you, Infinite Hot 11 Play. Thank you, everybody who got the answer correctly. So I would have made $500 in profit. Am I wealthy? Am I wealthy yet? Have I built wealth yet? Not yet. Are you sure? All right, some of you are still measuring wealth by an amount of money. What I've just showed you, ladies and gentlemen, is between 50 cents a day and $500 a day. The only difference in that process is frequency. Did you get it? The only difference is frequency. It is still the same product. We are buying the same product. Interestingly, now that we're buying 1,000, we might even get it less than $1. Who knows that's possible? We can even negotiate below $1. All right. And then we are selling to people who need, everybody needs water. So it's a great product. So we are selling it. And then we are making a consistent profit margin that is giving us more power to buy more water and be able to sell. So the more we are able to sell per day, the more money we're able to. Okay, so let me take this question to another level. What if we are able to repeat this process 1 million times in a day? Are we wealthy now? Aha! Because now we're making $500,000 per day. In a month, that's how much? In 2 days, we make $1 million. So that's 15 million US dollars in a month. If we have these factories and all of that, but you know, you're not taking home that $15 million because to sell a million a day, you need many trucks, you need billboards, you need, so the cost of the whatever too we go, but you will no longer buy this at $1 anymore. You'll probably be buying it at 50 cents, 30 cents at that point. All right, because you are now doing volume. So the extra between the 30 cents or 60 cents that you are now buying the water and the initial $1 can go for some of these other expenses, and you can still keep a profit margin of between 30 cents to 50 cents that you had originally. So the idea is frequency of the TTPW is what helps you build wealth. So this is the foundation I wanted to lay. You can't be wealthy without transaction. So what are you transacting? Number 2, if one transaction can happen, 1 million can also happen. That is addressing the possibility in your mind. If one transaction can happen, 1 million transactions can also happen. So let me ask you this question. The bottled water we started with, who owns it? who owns the bottled water? Ha, me say Coke. MBC, fantastic. Am I MBC? Am I Coke? I am not. Fantastic. But I just built a business of buying from someone else who produced a product that is not me who produced it and selling to people who need the product. All right. And I get a 50 cents profit margin. And I'm able to create a process that automates that over and over. And I'm able to do a lot of large volume. So, to those of you who do not have a business yet, start by selling for somebody who already have a product. And that is the system we built with LAP. How people can pick digital product for now. When Ziba, by the way, I got Ziba stuff here, so permit me to advertise the biggest thing that's about to happen from Africa to the rest of the world. It's an amazing platform. You're going to hear very soon a lot more about it. All right. So I can pick something that belongs to anybody, and then I show it to the people who need it, and then they pay the person who owns the product, or they pay me on their behalf, and then I can take my own margin, and I can repeat this several times over. This same process I just gave to you, there is this boy called Abdul Salam in Ibadan who has been able to sell by frequency in the last 2 years over 100 million naira of my product, and he has earned 50% consistently of that, which means that non-university educated young Ibadan boy has earned a total of over 50 million in the last 2 years. How many of you have earned 50 million naira in the last 2 years? A rhetorical question, don't answer me. So, in case your answer is no, or in case your own answer is yes, what was the cost of that 50 million to you? I'm talking profit now. So if he could do it, you have no excuse. You can start business from picking what other people are selling. Smart Steward has phenomenal product. By the way, I forgot to mention to you, Coach, that I have a group of people that I would like you to come and talk to. I've been training them on how to do business all over the world, how to print dollar and all. And part of the things they are going to do is we'll link them to how they can open a US account, start the exact thing I did, how they can do that. And they're willing to pay. There are plenty. They paid me, some of them paid 500K for the class and all of that. And they will still pay separately for this service. Separately. Whatever we tell them to pay, they will pay because it will help them. And now, the last time I spoke with Coach about this in passing, she said, you can even have affiliate commission. I say, I'm chief of affiliate. I understand. So I find people who need a product. I find somebody who is doing the products already. They're doing very fine. I'm a beneficiary of what they are doing. Then I just do the linking. Even if it's $100 I chop over all of them, it will buy me maybe a new TV screen for my studio in Dubai, or it will fuel my car for a while. It will do something nice for me. Just imagine if I'm able to now. Here's the deal. The boot camp I'm running right now, I'm about to turn into a course where we are intending to train over 50,000 people across 27 countries in Africa. All of these 50,000 students who will pay us for the course, not boot camp now, but for the course, are also going to learn about offshore business setup, and they will be interested in setting up. Even if it's just 2,000 of them that decide to do this almost immediately, let's say it's $100 that I'm making as commission by linking them to Smart Steward. Somebody help me do that mass. 2,000 people times 100, $200,000. That can buy the car I want to buy in January, a Maybach, Mercedes S-Class, S68. That's the best. They call it the Rolls-Royce Destroyer. That car is more luxurious than it's the love of my life right now. And one thing will come over me one day and I'll go and buy it. I'm really looking forward to it. So with that transaction alone, I can buy that car. It's just $250,000. It's not expensive. It's not expensive. So what am I saying in essence? I am not the one doing the registration. I'm not the one doing anything. I just created a demand from my own product. I will first have made money from all of them. And then once the demand is there, I found who has the supply. And then I link the two and I chop commission. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So the process that I just shared with you is how we build wealth. That's what everybody else is using. Their product might be different, their market might be different, but it's the same process. All right. So this is the foundation I wanted to lay, and I want you to understand it. Now, the second thing that I wanted to teach within my 30 minutes, I hope I've not exhausted it, is for those of you who are already business owners and you have not started doing $1 million. The first time my business I didn't even do $1 million, I did 2.5 million in less than 2 months. Let's say 6 weeks or 7 weeks. All right. How did we achieve that result in a short period? Leverage. Simply got people to tell other people that will tell other people about the product we have. So some of you have a phenomenal product, but people who can pay you do not know you yet. People who can pay you do not know you yet. So find a way to create an affiliate marketing model around your business. If you do it right, you will grow like massive. Some years ago, I had an online course I was teaching for 5,000 naira. I was still in Nigeria then. And I was making 4 million to 7 million every month. All right. From the sale of that course. And it was a good business, really. And an idea came to me that the students of this course, who are buying this course every day, can I add some videos into the course that teaches them how to promote my course and releases them to go and promote it? And the first month that we tried it out, we got about 100 of them to promote the same course. Our revenue moved from maximum of 7 million, that's roughly about 4 million to 7 million, all right? It moved from there to 30 million in a month. We paid 50% to them because it's digital product, all right? You can't necessarily do that for physical product. But doing digital products, this is great for you. And then we kept 15 million. So it means our own profits jumped from 5 million to 7.5 million. No, 15 million, sorry, because it was 30 million revenue. 15 million within 1 month. Do you know the interesting, mind-blowing part of this? Is that we did not spend a dime on ad that month. So we, as the owner of the product, didn't spend anything on the product to promote the product. But because we got other people promoting it for us, we shifted 6 times in revenue in 30 days. And that's how a 5K product has sold. I didn't know how much that cost has sold. Hundreds of millions in 2 years. In 2 years. So, COVID has finished us. Pata. There is no more border. Except the one you create in your mind. So you need to now pick up the possibility that you are made for the global market. You have to start doing research. So let me give all of you an assignment. How many countries in Africa speaks English? Question. Let me see who can get it. I don't know if I can give gifts to this place now, Seth. I used to like to dash people $100 if they get my question. Hey, some of you are Googling it. Oh, okay. Nobody has the answer, so it's over. Time up, because some of you have Googled it. There are 27 of them. All right. There are 27. I don't talk at Miranda. So you didn't win anything. So there are 27 of them. Now, imagine there are 26 other countries who would understand you as a Nigerian and who might be interested in what you are trying to sell to Lagos people that is already seemingly saturated. So I told my students to go to Google and research who are these 27 countries? Where are they located? What is happening there? What is their purchasing power? What is their GDP per capita? What is their level of education? What is their demography by age? All right. What exposure do they have? How many universities do they have? Who is ruling them? Are they in war or are they out of war? All of these basic details, anthropologists, all right? Go and research. Pay someone to do it for you. There are a lot of freelancers that will collect 5K for a simple research. Just find 10 of them and pay them 50K to get you a specific information about a particular place. Most of these things are online. If you can't, I always teach people this. If you can't do something, pay someone to do it for you. It's as simple as that. The things you feel you can't do because you didn't have time, whatever, then let your money do it for you. Pay someone else who is a professional to get it done for you. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. So, first of all, you cannot build wealth without transaction. To have transaction, you need a product. And the way wealth is grown is you need a frequency, you need a high frequency of the process I just told you. You need a high frequency of acquiring a product. You need a high frequency of being able to uh, create a transaction with the product, and you need high frequency of profit, and then you can now build wealth easily. The wealth part of the equation is your ability to automate that process. All right, it's your ability to automate that process. So if you are able to automate the process, you will eventually be able to build wealth. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope with this few point of mine, I don't want to continue teaching so that I will take more time. All right. With this viewpoint of mine, I'm sure that I've been able to convince and not confuse you that your dollar is in the pocket of so many people who are mostly outside of your country. I will drop one more thing. To be able to sell in any market, you need the following things. Very, very important. All right. Number one, you need to understand the pain points of the people you're trying to sell to as it relates to your own product or service. Find out what their pain points are as it relates to your own product and service. Unfortunately, coach, most people who try to sell only go for what is the pain point. So they think they have a market because the pain point exists. I'm selling how to make money online ebook, and I say Nigerians wants to make money. So I have a huge market. Once I just release that ad like this, in 5 minutes, 1 million people will just buy. Maybe there are 200 million Nigerians that are in need of money. Yes, 200 million, 1 million people will see the ad. So maybe only five of them will buy. And you wonder, why are you a failure? It's because you stopped halfway. Pain point that is valid is not enough data for business transaction. Please get it. Oh. Pain point is something that the problem that your product can solve. If I'm thirsty, thirst is a pain point. Water is supposed to be the solution. You understand? So it goes beyond that. I mean, that's just the empirical level. Sorry, I didn't have enough time to go too deep into this. I probably would have taught some of these things on my YouTube channel. You could check it. All right. All right, so that's the first part, the pain point. So, but it's very important. That's where we start. In Nigeria, how many people are unemployed? Millions. These unemployed millions that probably tilted towards poverty already would buy anything that can make them money. Did I say would buy? Would be interested in anything that can make them money. But would they buy? No. Which now leads to the second thing. The second thing you need is purchasing power. And this is where the secret is. You reduce your audience size, you create the focus of the people you are trying to sell to, based on their purchasing power. So, yes, they want the product, but can they afford it? That's number two. Can they afford it? A lot of Nigerians want to go out of poverty. If I'm going to teach you how to go out of poverty in 3 months, guaranteed, the minimum you should be ready to pay me will be 5 million naira. Now, Coach Shola, the question is how many Nigerians can afford 5 million naira? I said guaranteed. But if you want to learn without guarantee that everything is in your hands, but I will give you the soap, but it's in your hands, it's $100, 50,000 naira. A lot of Nigerians can afford it, but much more Nigerians cannot even still afford the 50K. You know where most Nigerians are? Teach me for free level. So the result of teach me for free is 0.001% of you will be able to make anything with that information. You see where the problem is now. So a product that everybody is supposed to like, it's not everybody that will be able to afford it. I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't like either a Range Rover, a Bentley, a BMW, or a super luxury car. I don't think there's anyone here who doesn't like one. The question is, why have you not bought one? Why? Purchasing power. That's it. That's it. So you need to research that. So I want to start selling to this particular place. Can they afford what I want to sell? It's very important. Then even if, yes, a few of them have the purchasing power, the next one is scalability. Is it a growing market? The people who have the pain points, have the purchasing power, is it a growing market? Or is limited to only 10 people? So you have to be very, very sure. I'm giving you elements for your research. I want to sell to Kenya. When I moved my business to Kenya the first time in 2018, we sold about $10,000. We sold about $10,000. We had to close down the business because that's a terrible, we did not make money. We did not make money. And now we're about to relaunch Kenya after 4 years with a lot of research that we have done, understanding the market and the stuff that we need to do to be able to break that market in a short period of time. So it is very important. Please, if you do not remember anything from my session, you cannot build a business without proper investment in research and development. Thank you very much for having me.